No, the thumbnail and the title isn't deceiving. Yes, it is back. Hi guys, welcome back to my channel and welcome if you are new. I hope you're all doing well and welcome back to a very exciting video. This video is all inspired by me turning 3 on Booktube. In June of 2020, I built up the courage to start my Booktube channel and it's one of the best decisions I've ever made. It's been a bit topsy-turvy here and there with reading slumps, losing creativity and kind of feeling in a rut. I am back to celebrate 3 years on Booktube because I think it's such a milestone. I'm so proud of what I've managed to achieve in those 3 years and the little community that I've managed to build up. So I thought it was time to bring back a classic. This is just the start of a mini kind of celebration to celebrate 3 years. I have 3 videos, all inspired by videos that I used to put out on my channel that really brought me joy, that I'm bringing back, that I haven't done in ages. The first one is, yes, Pin the Tail on the Donkey is back. We are choosing my June TBR via the old game that I used to play monthly on my channel. And then we also have a few other exciting videos lined up for the month of June to help celebrate 3 years on Booktube. So I really hope you guys enjoy what I have in store for you for the next couple of weeks. But let's start off with a bang and let the donkey pick my TBR. So let's not mess around, let's go into the first spin. So we're back with spin number 1 for prompt 1. Woo! Let's go. 1, 2, 3. I'm surprised I actually managed to get it on a donkey. Okay, we've got the head prompt. I already feel ill. And that was 1 spin, but the prompt is an A to Z challenge book. First spin got me A to Z challenge, which is a prompt that I have never pulled out of my TBR jar before. I, for the last year or so, been working my way through the A to Z challenge with a bit of a twist. I haven't announced anywhere because I didn't want like a time frame on it, I didn't want any pressure, but basically the A to Z challenge is to make sure you read a book beginning with each letter of the alphabet. However, my twist is make sure I read a book beginning with each letter of the alphabet, as well as read a book with an author's name beginning with each letter of the alphabet. So it's been taking me a while to get through, but I have a notes section on my phone dedicated to this challenge. So I'm just going to go through it with you and kind of maybe pick a book that I want to read that I have on my physical TBR for this challenge, because I do want to still focus on getting my physical TBR down in the month of June. So I read Ace of Spades for the letter A, title beginning with, but A for author, I haven't read yet A Girl with a Louding Voice, so that's definitely an option because it's written by Abby Dare. I've done both of B's. I could do C because the author I have in mind for C is Chloe Leese and she has a lot of books out, and I have Only When It's Us on my iBooks account. Double booked by Lily, I want to say it's Lily something, is what I could potentially read for D, but I'm sure there must be another D book on my TBR, potentially. Daisy Jones and the Six, potentially. A book that was on my May TBR that I didn't get around to for F is Friends and Strangers, which could definitely be an option. G, I've completed Grown Ups for the letter of the title, but I haven't completed author, and for that I picked Mike Gale, so I could read The Legendary Girlfriend, which is definitely a good shout. Done both for H. Ooh, or for J, I could do Booked on a Feeling by J.C. Lee, which is on my physical TBR. There's definitely lots of options. A Magic Steeped in Poison for the letter M. The No Show for N. Also A Year After You by Nina DePass, which is also on my physical TBR. There are a lot I could pick between. Oh, I've read The Party Crasher. I didn't even know I'd completed one. I read The Party Crasher in April, so yay for that. I could do The Vanishing Half for V. Oh, I read XOXO. Another one tick. I think my top options... Ooh, I don't know. I think I'm going to put on a book that I've been putting off for so long that I would love to get off my physical TBR. I'm going to go for The Girl with a Louding Voice by Abby Dare. This is a literary fiction book. This book basically follows our main character, Adunde, who is a 14-year-old girl in a small Nigerian village, and she's a third wife of one of the men there, but she's destined for other things. She has this feeling, so she sets on a journey from this small village to Lagos to get an education, and when adversity keeps getting in her way, she's determined to kind of make more of herself. So I feel like this is going to be like a coming of age book. The reason why I keep putting it off is the text is so dense. There's a lot of text on each page, but it's not a very long book. It's only just over 300 pages. So this is the first book going on my TBR for the month of June. I'm kind of scared, but I'm kind of hoping it'll give me the final push I need to read this book. Spin number 2 for prompt 2. Yeah, I don't do this, it's not a monthly thing now, so I'm trying to really put my all into it, but that was a miss, so spin number 2, try 2 for prompt number 2. 1, 2, 3. I'm lost. Where am I going? Here? Here? Where's the wall? I can't even feel the wall. Is that the wall?
Yes.
And my face. This is really disorientating.
I guess because it's also, you used to do it in your bedroom where it was a small area.
Yeah, it was really narrow because the bed was here and the
if you
dresser.
didn't feel anything, you knew that the donkey wasn't there.
Yeah.
You've got a huge wall.
Right. And if I don't get it after the third try, I have to add a spin. We're going back to the old rules. Because this is my celebration of my 3rd year book anniversary, I've been 3 years on Booktube now, so we're going all in. If I don't get it in this go now, I have to add a spin, and I usually do 5 books for each month, so it'll make it 6, but let's hope I can get a hit on the 3rd try. So for spin number 2, prompt 2, 3rd try, let's go. 1, 2, 3. Oh, I just missed. Just missed. We're adding a spin. So that's 6 spins I need to do, but let's try and finish at spin 2. So here goes, 4th try. 1, 2, 3, let's get it. Oh my god. Yeah. I feel like there has to be a forfeit at some point. Right, try number 5. Come on, Rachel, you can do this. 1, 2, 3. Yes. Yeah, I hit the ear. And breathe. Right. For prompt number 2, the prompt is set in your country. So a book set in the UK. I think I can do that quite easily. The next prompt I pulled was set in your country. So I need to read a book that's set in the UK, which I said was going to be pretty easy to complete, but I feel like I just need to find an author that is also from the UK and is British to help me complete this prompt. So let's pull some options I could potentially read for this. Okay, without spending hours on Googling each author and where they're from, I've picked 3 books I could potentially read for this prompt. And one I'm really, really excited for and have a feeling is the one I'm going to pick, but I'm going to talk through the 3 I have as options anyway. The first one being The Lock-In by Phoebe Luckhurst. I tried reading this book as an ebook on my phone a couple of years ago now, and I just couldn't get into it. And then Emily kindly gifted it to me for my birthday, potentially. Yeah, for my birthday last year, and I now feel like I can finally get into it and properly read it because I much prefer reading physical copies of books. So this is definitely a potential. The next potential is the next Sally Rooney book I have to read, which is Conversations with Friends. This is set in Ireland, so definitely part of the UK, but a little bit more of a stretch if you're going for kind of England, Wales, Scotland, Ireland. And the last one, which I have a feeling I'm going to pick, is Girlfriends by Holly Bourne. I've been eyeing this book up for ages. I brought it right at the beginning of this year, and I just really want to read it, especially after having just recently read and reread Pretending by Holly Bourne. I'm absolutely loving it. I'm really in the mood to read some more Holly Bourne work. I'm going to go for this one. I can't lie. I can't drag it on anymore. This is the book I'm going to pick for Set in Your Country. And this book basically follows 2 best friends who have kind of drifted apart, but you get a dual timeline in this book from when they were best friends back in the day and kind of why they drifted apart in the present day. And it follows Jessica and Fern as their differences kind of drift them apart as they get older. But some sort of drama happens, something that Jessica can't forgive Fern for, and that's kind of how their friendship breaks up, and a story entails from there. And Laura Jane Williams, one of my favourite authors, has blurbed it shocking, validating, shrewd and sharp-witted. So I'm really, really excited to give this a go, and I'm so glad I can finally fit it onto a TBR. Spin number 3 for prompt 3. Try number 1. 1, 2, 3. Yes! Got in the first one. got the left ear that time, so at least we're hitting all parts of the body. That's a plus. And for the left ear prompt, we have Instagram scroll. Exciting. And the next prompt I got was Instagram scroll, which is what it says on the tin. I've got to go on Instagram and scroll through the posts and reels until I find a book that I can read. And this one for me has to be a book that's on my physical TBR. I'm sure something will come up pretty soon, but without further ado, let's record my screen. Go to Instagram and scroll until I see a book that I can read. Okay, that was really quick. I've got Nora Goes Off Scribd as an ebook on my phone, so that was really quick. I wasn't expecting it to be that quick, but I guess the fates have decided I'm going to be reading Nora Goes Off Scribd by Annabelle McGonaghan. I'm probably butchering that and saying it incorrectly, but when I read it, I'll figure out how to pronounce her name properly. That was really quick. So this book is basically just a plain slice of life book. It follows our main character Nora, who is a romance channel screenwriter, but when her husband and 2 kids leave her, she's feeling a little bit lost. But this collapse of her marriage turns into the best script that she's ever written, and I think the story kind of goes on from there. I'm really excited to read it. It's been on my ebook TBR for quite a while now, so I'm glad I can kind of tick it off. Hopefully I can read it. All these books are just kind of like a little pile, a little accumulation of books I can read in a month. If I don't get around to them, it's not the end of the world. I don't do any punishments, but yes, that book is on my TBR and I'm very excited to hopefully get around to it. Let's go for spin number 4 for the 4th prompt. 1, 2, 3. I feel like I'm getting quite good at this now I know when a donkey is. I just spun and ciao! We got the left ear again, so what prompt did we just replace? Start a new series. Okay. Spin number 4 got me start a new series, and I have quite a few options for this, so let me pull out some options and we can talk through them and which book I'm going to pick for this prompt. Okay, I found 4 options for this prompt. I just went onto my physical TBR on Goodreads and kind of just went down the list to see what book titles had like the hashtag number 1 in. Some I knew were series and some I didn't realise were series. So the first one that I knew was a series was A Magic Steeped in Poison by Judy Lynn. This is a book that I've tried reading before end of last year and I couldn't get into it because I was kind of in a slump. So I kind of got about 50-ish, maybe 100 pages in and put it down. I would like to revisit it and see if it is a book that is vibing with me or whether it was just the fact that I couldn't vibe with this book at all. Is it kind of like a me or a book situation? So this is a potential. This is a Chinese mythology book based on the art of tea making. And then we have Crazy Rich Asians, which has been on my TBR for so long because I heard really mixed things about this book and it kind of put me off it. This book was kind of gifted to me by Chloe for my birthday at one point, maybe last year, the year before. I don't know, it's been on my TBR for quite a while. This is the first book in the Crazy Rich Asians trilogy. I think I have no interest in reading the rest of the series, but I kind of want to get this book read and off my TBR, so this is definitely a potential. I didn't realise Icebreaker by Hannah Grace was a series, but it has a number 1 in the title, so I'm assuming the author has a plan to release future books in this series, and I think it might be more like a companion series as far as I can tell. This is a ice hockey, figure skating kind of romance. And then we have a book that's once again been on my TBR for ages, and that is Have You Seen My Sex Life by Christian Bailey. This is basically a slice of life book following a mother who's kind of really struggling with the role of being a mother and kind of losing her own identity and kind of like not having sex in ages, and apparently it's quite a humorous book, kind of basically just following the story of a mother who's trying to find herself after having kids. I feel like we have 2 contemporaries. Do we mix up with a fantasy? I think so. I think it's going to be either these 2, just because they've been on my TBR for ages. This one was a soft DNF. I should probably try and get back around to hopefully finishing it, and if not, kind of fully DNFing it. And this one's been on my TBR for ages as well, and I just kind of want to get it over and done with. But I think I'm going to go with Magic Steeped in Poison by Judy Lynn for this one. This is a YA fantasy following Chinese mythology and the art of tea making. So it sounds so intriguing, but I just couldn't get into it before. I'm really hoping that I can get into it the second time. So that is the 4th book on my TBR. Let's go for what was originally the last spin, but spin number 5. 1, 2, 3. Does that count? I don't think that counts. The very corner has made it onto the ear, but the actual thing hasn't made it onto the ear, so. We were on a streak, it was going to end eventually, so for book number 5, take 2. 1, 2, 3. That was a miss. I've lost it. I've lost it. I need to breathe. I'm actually pretty proud of myself at how well I'm doing with the spins. Not gonna lie. Right, let's go for try 3 for prompt number 5, I think. I've lost count. Let's go. 1, 2, 3. Ah, yes. Because if not, I would have had to add another spin, but we're not. We're still sticking at 6 spins. I don't know if that counts. I think that's the head and not the hair. So what prompt is the head? And that prompt is middle grade. What was meant to be the last prompt pool for this month, but obviously I lost and had to spin again. But the 5th one got me middle grade. I physically don't have any middle grade unread on my TBR. This is my little middle grade shelf. All of Tom Fletcher over here, some Ashley Herring Blake's middle grade, some Benjamin Dean, and some Kelly Yang. And I'm currently in the middle of reading the 2nd Kelly Yang book, 3 Keys, so that means I have no middle grade left on my TBR. So this is going to have to be a Scribd situation. So let's record my screen and see what is on Scribd that I could potentially read, which is a middle grade. Might be a bit tricky. So let's just go to my saved. Not middle grade, not middle grade. I tried reading that, Other Words from Home, wasn't into it. Not middle grade, not middle grade, not middle grade. Not middle grade, not middle grade, not middle grade. Not middle grade, not middle grade, not middle grade. I don't read. Okay. I have another Kelly Yang I could read, New From Here, which is a kind of new series that she started, so not following the front desk story at all. So that is definitely an option. New country, new life, whole new world. When the coronavirus hits Hong Kong, 10-year-old Knox's mum makes a last-minute decision to move him and his siblings to California, where they think they'll be safe from the virus. Okay, that one sounds really interesting, and it'll be interesting to read a book about coronavirus because I've stayed away from those, so that'll be my first one about that topic. What other ones do I have? The Art of Running Away has always been intriguing to me. This book basically follows our main character Maisie, who's an inspiring artist, and her family run an art shop, and that's truly where she feels like home. But when her parents don't want her to follow in her grandmother's footsteps, and her brother left home 6 years ago cutting ties, there's something in the family that they're not kind of discussing, and it kind of follows Maisie's journey into discovering who her family really are and kind of allowing art to be her true passion. So that one sounds quite interesting, but I think I might go with, let me just see if there's anything else. Keeper of the Lost Cities or Mary and the Night Brothers is also an option. I have more middle grade on my Scribd kind of TBR than I thought. Just seeing if there's anything else. What My Mama Left Me by Renee Watson. I love Renee Watson, so that's definitely an option. Some places more than others, also another Renee Watson. Okay, that's it. Ooh, I don't know. I might go for Kelly Yang actually. I might go for Nowhere From Here. What was it called? New From Here from Kelly Yang. So that's the book I'm going to go for middle grade. That took ages. Hopefully the final spin number 6 for the 6th book. Take 1, 2, 3. There's a miss. Right. For book number 6, take 2. 1, 2, 3. I'm getting disorientated. Where am I going? Missed. I missed. This is getting into scary territory right now. We have one more attempt until I have to add another spin. I don't want to add another spin, so let's go. Final spin for book 6. 1, 2, 3. Yes. Got the head again. What did we just replace? The prompt is scroll and stop. And finally, prompt number 6 got me Scroll and Stop. So another book I don't really have free reign on, which is interesting. So what I usually do for this prompt is go to my iBooks account and scroll and close my eyes and scroll until I stop, and then whichever book I land on, that's the book I'm going to read. However, I already have an iBooks book on my TBR this month. I already have an ebook from Scribd to read this month, and like I said earlier, I much prefer reading physical books. So what I'm going to do is go to my Goodreads TBR, where it has all the books currently on my physical TBR, and I'm going to go to that list and I'm just going to scroll and close my eyes, scroll, and then stop, and then whichever book comes up is a book I'm going to read off my physical TBR, because I would like to have another physical book on my TBR this month. So I'm scared. Without further ado, let's go. This could be absolutely anything. So up, down, twist and turn, la 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 la. I'm really scared. I don't want to stop scrolling. Okay, and stop. Ah! Finally! I got One True Loves by Taylor Jenkins Reid. Oh, I've been dying to read this book for so long. Okay, that one turned out beautifully. I have been wanting to read this book for so long, and I recently picked it up in my Come Bookshop with Me video, so I'll link that up above and down below if you're interested in watching that. But this book has been eyeing me up ever since I heard the synopsis years ago, and only recently did I manage to pick up the physical copy. This book basically follows our main character, Emma, who has a husband called Jesse, and they go on lots of trips together. They go kind of travelling around the world, and then unfortunately Jesse dies in a plane crash, although that's what Emma believes. She unfortunately has to grieve Jesse. She gets over it, and she finally finds happiness back in her life when she gets a new man in her life. I don't know what this new man is called, but I think they're about to get married. I've watched the movie trailer, so I feel like this book is a little bit more familiar to me. And then Jessie calls up and was like, oh my god, I've survived, I'm here. And she's like, oh my god, I thought you were dead, I've grieved you, I'm with this new person, like, what do I do? So I'm really, really intrigued to read it. I love Taylor Jenkins Reid writing style. I've read Malibu Rising, Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo, and After I Do, so this will be my 4th book from her, and I'm really, really excited to delve in. So that, guys, is my June TBR, and yes, I have other books I'd like to read in June as well, because one of my videos I'm doing for the celebratory of 3 years on Booktube is to do a reading vlog and reread some of my favourite books from 2020, the year I started my channel. So I have a lot of reading plans in the month of June, so I'm not sure if I'm going to get around to all the books I've picked in today's video. And obviously my reading vlog that I do, that'll be a surprise of what books will be in there, so look forward to that. But the first book on my physical TBR for the month of June is Girl with a Loud Voice by Abby Dare for A to Z challenge. And then we have Girlfriends by Holly Bourne to fit the prompt of Set in Your Country. And then for Instagram scroll, we got Nora off Script by Annabelle Mahonigan. Insert author's name here. And then we got Start a Series, which I'm picking A Magic Steeped in Poison by Judy Lynn. And then we got Middle Grade, where I'm going to read New From Here by Kelly Yang. I really enjoy Kelly Yang's Front Desk series, so I'm really excited to read her new series. And then we got Scroll and Stop, which I'm so excited to be finally reading One True Loves by Taylor Jenkins Reid. I'm actually so happy with how that TBR came out, and I'm so happy that I managed to bring back Pin and Tail on a Donkey. It's been a long time coming. I'm so glad I've been able to bring it back. So if you enjoyed this video, please make sure you give it a massive thumbs up and subscribe down below to see future content from me. I do anything from fun TBR games, monthly wrap-ups, weekly vlogs, themed reading vlogs, and any other bookish content your heart could desire. I usually have it on this channel, so make sure you subscribe so you don't miss any future content. And with that being said, here we are to the next year of Booktube. I really hope I'm around for 4 years, and I will see you in my next video. Bye guys.